Good morning, students. Welcome back, and I hope that all of you are in a very happy and pleasant mood to listen to the second part of the Portrait of a Lady, written by a well-known author, journalist, and essayist, Khushwant Singh. Here I have tried to show you the portrait of that very old woman who just feeds the sparrows. In this video, I will just tell you about the word meanings that are to be discussed here, and you will understand it much better. What is that? That is the word meaning that I want to tell you. Portrait here, description in words. Here, the author has tried to describe about his grandmother and grandfather. Revolting, disgusting fable. It is a story related to animals based on some morals. Hobbled about. She used to walk like a limp person. Shakuni, you might be well known to the character of the Mahabharata. Puckered, wrinkled face. Scriptures, holy books. You can understand these things. And here, Bedlam, great noise. Great noise. Harlots, prostitutes, those women who really sell their body sexually and earn some money. Snap, broken, veritable, real, original, seclusion, loneliness, frivolous, not serious. And some more meaning is there. Sagging, hanging down, dilapidated, falling to pieces. Pallor, become lifeless. When the person dies, the body becomes lifeless. There is no sign of life in it. He is Khushwant Singh, who has written this. He was grown up. He became old. But he writes that his grandmother used to wake him up in the morning and get him ready for school. She said her morning prayer in a monotonous sing-song while she bathed and dressed him in the hope that he would listen and get to know it by heart, as some scriptures are recited. And she read. He listened because he loved her voice, he writes, but never bothered to learn. She would fetch him wooden slate, which she had already washed and plastered with yellow chalk. He had a tiny earthen ink pot and a red pen. Tie them all in a bundle and handed it to Khushwant. After a breakfast of thick stale chapati with a little butter and sugar sprayed on it, they went to school. She carried several stale chapatis with her for the village dogs. That you will understand. In those days, there were temples where children used to go for learning lessons. The priest taught the children the alphabet and the morning prayer, while the children sat in rows on either side of the veranda, singing the alphabet or the prayer in chorus. It was the time when they read O, A, E, Ko, Kho, Go, Gha. These were the alphabets. Here it was the chorus they sang together. दया कर दान विद्या का हमें परमात्मा देना. Means it was sung in Hindi at the time that I want to tell you. When they had finished, they would walk back together. This time the village dogs would meet them at the temple door. It is the time when everything was clean and clear, that the children were taught in temples. I want to tell you. Moreover, there were some dogs that met on the way, and they were fed by grandmother, breaking the stale chapatis into bits, and these dogs were so happy. They used to meet her. Really, it was a wonderful moment. Now, there was a turning point in their life, and they shared the same room when they came to town. Grandmother was no longer coming to school with him, and he used to go to an English medium school for some time. Now it was a time when Khushwant Singh told his grandmother about the teachings that were done in the school, but she was not happy because they only taught the law of gravity, Archimedes' principle, and the world being round, and that made her unhappy. She knew that only English medium schools teach the things that are not about God and scriptures. She had a really strong dislike for such music, and that had lewd associations, that is corrupted association. She did not like the monopoly of harlots, prostitutes and beggars. That was not meant for gentle folk. Gentle folk means what? Gentle people. She said nothing, but in her silence there was disapproval. She accepted this seclusion with resignation. She liked to engage her time by spinning well, and she did not go anywhere. She just spinned her well, reciting prayers. Only in the afternoon she had some relaxed time for a while to feed the sparrows. She liked to feed the sparrows. Very interestingly, these sparrows sat on her shoulders, on her head. She smiled and she shooed them away. It was the happiest moment of her life. When he decided to go abroad at the time, she had a very loving memory, and this memory was really unemotional. She went to the railway station to see him off. Khushwant Singh thought that it would be the last meeting with her, but when he returned, it was the fantastic moment. She was again at the station of the platform. She went to receive him at the railway station, and at the time he realized that her grandmother looked the same. In the evening, she collected some of the women of her neighborhood. She arranged a big drum. It was dilapidated. Its skin was sagging, though she baked. The next morning, It was the beads of rosary that she counted. She lay on bed. She had a mild fever. Doctor was called in, but she said now it is useless, no need of treatment, and in the morning she died. Her fingers stopped counting the beads of rosary. Her body was covered with red shroud. Her dead body was taken on a stretcher for funeral. It was the last journey of her life. In the morning, when the sparrows came, they could see lying the grandmother dead. Narrator's mother provided bits of the bread, crumbs of bread, grains, but they did not take care of it. They left the food, but when her dead body was taken to the place of burial or cremation, really all the birds flew away. It was the idea. These were the sparrows that flew away, that she used to feed. Men's animals do also have sense of understanding, who love them. How a beautiful creation this world is made up of. I hope you must have understood the lesson so well that the journey that begins from birth, that comes to an end with the departure of the soul, but the body remains. So, our actions that we do for the whole life, that is seen at the time of the death. How peaceful that she got. She did not have to worry. She left a good, happy family after her. It was the blessing in disguise. Thank you, children. You might have understood the lesson well. Thank you once again.